What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and welcome back to Closing Belle, episode number 4. Of course, we have a special guest. Haber is waiting. He's gonna take me on. We're gonna have some hot and not. We have a showdown at the end of the episode and a new team of the season to discuss. And I'm looking forward to all those comments. Let's get right into the action. Team of the season forecast. Ligue. People are saying, well, there's no 99. Do you really need a 99? When you have Neymar, Mbappe, Ben Yedder? Do you not know about Ben Yedder? FIFA legend. He's already an icon. If you pack a goalkeeper, that's going to be a hard pass. This is not the team of the season for you. And I want to give a little bit of some special love, and I might be getting ahead of myself. But Marquinhos, the Brazilian's got some key upgrades on his physical statistics, and he might end up coming in top tier. I'm just saying, could be a dark horse. But we have a lot to break down. Let's get into hot or not. Here we are, hot or not, and I have Haber with me, maybe the best Dirty Mike impressionist out there. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. And the way that this segment works, relatively simple. We've got 2 players. We have to make a choice. Who would we prefer to have in our squad? You ready?
I'm ready, dude. Let's do it.
No pressure. We have Ben Yedder, or Ben Yedder, that I keep hyping up, and he should be hyped up. He's the most expensive player, I think, up to this point from the Ligue versus 99 overall Lewandowski. I'll let you begin. Oof.
Oh, Mo, that is a tough choice. Ben Yedder's got the 5-star weak foot, and I think that's really important this year. I think he instantly edges ahead straight away, but Lewandowski's got that physical. He's got, I think, a better body type. He seems definitely bigger in game. I think I'd go Ben Yedder, personally.
I'm not against you. I just struggled to go against Ben Yedder, and I scored in one weekend league 50 goals with Lewandowski. So if there's anybody that can definitely stand behind Lewandowski, it's yours truly. But I just refuse to go against Ben Yedder. I've played against him so much this year, and he constantly dominates everything. He scores goals from angles that shouldn't go in. His drag back game is on another level. I don't want to see him. This is terrifying. Things in my apartment will most likely be broken over the weekend. Neymar versus Messi. Both players have stats on stats on stats. Kind of like what you were saying with Ben Yedder, I have trouble going against Neymar because he has the 5-star weak foot and the 5-star skill moves. But I will say this, team of the season Messi has an X factor.
Yeah, I totally agree. Messi's got that Messi style that you just can't get on another player because it's Messi. But Neymar is just so in the game this year. He fights for the badge. He does not make the mistakes, I feel like, in the box that other players make. So I think my choice would also have to be Neymar. You just can't fight against it.
We just might agree on all our choices today on hot or not. I didn't plan it this way. We didn't go over the questions or the player selections. It's just difficult. I think it's difficult to go against Neymar because, as you said, he fights for the badge. He's a special player in this year's installment, and no disrespect to Messi. We're going to keep the attacking theme. Team of the season Mbappe versus team of the season Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm very biased as a Man United fan. Growing up, Ronaldo at Man United was one of my favorite players, and he carries that through on FIFA to a T. I feel like, plays just like he did in real life. He's got that big build, but the amazing footwork. I have to go with Ronaldo. That might be controversial because Mbappe really is an incredible player this year, but I love Ronaldo from more than just a FIFA standpoint, and he's got to take my vote.
And I'm going to give a politically correct answer and kind of ride the fence just slightly. If you were going with their gold foot item, so let's say you can't afford the team of the season versions, I would prefer Mbappe over Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's an 89 over the 93, which maybe that's unpopular, but I just prefer him. I think that he gives you more to work with. Ronaldo's kind of stiff for his original gold foot item. However, that all goes out the door with team of the season. You got to stick with CR7. Everybody's been packing them. I'm getting very unhappy and sad on my end because I had that expectation that it was possible. I got my rewards. It didn't happen for me. So I don't have Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's talk midfield. Renato Sanchez versus Nainggolan. Who we gonna roll with? I think I'm going against the grain because at this point we've seen Nainggolan and what he's able to accomplish via weekend league. He's proven. I would argue that he's actually the second best player from the Serie A team of the season, just behind Cristiano. But I'm going with Renato Sanchez. This is the return of Renato.
Wow, I'm a bit surprised. My allegiance lies with Raja Nainggolan. I love him. I think he's fantastic. He's such a dominant midfielder. I think he goes into any midfield realistically. I think with Renato, he's a little bit too short for my liking, and I think that unfortunately is why I'm going to go with Nainggolan. But that Renato Sanchez card, I have no doubt will be a beast in game.
Wait. All right, Renato is 5'9". I swear that Nainggolan's the same height.
Oh no, have I been exposed? Is he? Have I just...
They are the same height with the same work rates. Exposed.
Oh my word.
But to be fair to you, when you get in games, sometimes player builds feel a little bit different. There's guys that I forget are taller in games sometimes because they just don't feel like they have that wide structure. We talked attackers, we talked midfielders. It wouldn't be right if we didn't have a defensive comparison. We've gone with Lala versus Hernandez.
That one is interesting. I actually packed Hernandez, so I can tell you from a personal standpoint, he's fantastic in game. I think a lot of people think he's going to be clunky, but he doesn't feel as clunky as I think other players do. However, that Lala card, that card has some stats, you know, that card has some serious stats. This is a tough one. I'm on the fence. I think I'm going to go with Hernandez off of personal experience, but it's not by much.
And I also have Hernandez. I didn't pack him. I had to do it the old school way. I went to the market. I picked him up. I used him the previous weekend league. I thought that he was also solid. I agree with you. I think that he's solid. But when I look at this Lala foot item, it just brings back the years again. And I'm a sucker for nostalgic vibes. Anything that brings me back to, I guess, previous FIFA installments. And if you have that resume, you got that track record, I get excited. Hernandez doesn't necessarily have that, and I just used him, so I'm more pumped to put Lala into the squad. He definitely looks that he's going to be more balanced going forward, but stats don't mean everything. If they did, you would never need us to talk about these players or do comparisons. You would say, hey, we're reading the stats, and that's what happened. It doesn't work like that in FIFA. I'm sorry to break it to you. That's all for hot or not. It's time for us to build an ultimate team. Today's main feature, and it's one of all of our FAQs. Well, what players should I use here? How do I build the best team? Where do I put my budget? Where should I invest? What's going to happen? We're going to go through some of the positions and the importance, the meta, what you should look for. We'll start out with goalkeepers. When I'm looking at goalkeepers, it's so preference-based. I like that they're tall. I need a tall goalkeeper that I can link up, and then after that, I'm kind of making adjustments based on what I actually experience on the virtual pitch.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that this year, more than any other year, I don't think that who you prefer in goal makes a massive difference. I think in previous years, there have been certain choices that you go with in every squad. But this year, I see a lot of variation when I play the weekend league or in division rivals. So for me, I agree. Having a tall player that links pretty much is who I go for every time. I don't have a set goalkeeper.
I like that you brought that up because I was just thinking each weekend league, I definitely experience or go up against at least 10 or more different goalkeepers, which is rare. And it wasn't like that in previous FIFA iterations. Tells you about the goalkeeper then. It's not somewhere that I would put tons of money because I think you can get good bang for your buck in this position, depending, of course, on chemistry, who you're using in your back line, which brings us to the center backs. What do you look for? What is the keys for Haber's center backs?
I actually look for an agile centre back. If I've got a ton of coins, I'm going icon route. If I've not got a ton of coins, I usually go La Ligue based because I feel like they've got really good bang for your buck centre backs. But physicality is not the biggest thing I look for. I look more for someone that can recover quite quickly in case I make a mistake or I lunge in too quickly. I don't necessarily go down the same route as a lot of other players do.
And if you're thinking La Liga, Militao, Longley.
Absolutely, yeah. Both of those are fantastic. Varane, Ramos is really good this year as well. PK had a really good iteration of his card as well. He had a Scream card that I thought was really good for a large portion of the start of the game. I enjoyed that card as well. So they've got a lot of great choices and a lot of good goalkeepers to link them in with as well.
And the Scream PK, just in general, because he came out early in the year and he was affordable, was a good pickup. I don't know if I would run him right now. I think you would struggle a little bit, but at that point of the season, you got to use him for 2 or 3 months at a very high level, which counts for a lot if you're a weekend league player. Similar to Haber, I'm also looking for an agile center back, but I would like a nice combination of size and physicality. I don't like losing 50-50s. I don't like getting bumped around. Fullbacks, left back, right back. What are we saying?
Whilst they can be very important, I think with heading being as little used as much as it is this year, realistically, compared to last year, I don't think that getting a really expensive fullback is necessary. Although they're important, they are the most irrelevant side of the defense for me. I think that most of the stuff happens in the box and they don't find their way in the box as much as, for example, the centre backs do. So I wouldn't spend all your coins looking for a great team of the season left back or right back if you're on a budget. I would just go for someone fast and decent defending or decent physical, whichever one your preference is there. But pace, I think, should be a priority.
And if I was building a squad and we're talking about ranking the positions 1 through 11, most important to least important, this would be number 10, number 11. Your fullbacks, you can go for the cheap options. If you don't have a big budget, this should be your last investment. I used Mendy even like a month ago. 80 overall, got the job done. You could run Semedo as a right back. Just stick to La Liga, it sounds like, if we're just gonna make this defense count down. Everything we talked about is La Liga defending, but it's definitely not gonna be your make or break. You're not winning more games in the weekend league because of your left back or your right back. Central midfielders, a much more important position, and this is going to be your center mid or your center defensive mid. And with the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-4-2 being the two most commonly used formations, I've come up with 3 different types of setups. Haber hasn't heard me talk about them, so I'm going to present them, and I want to see if you agree, you disagree. But these are the 3 types of setups that I believe are most frequent in the last couple of years of FIFA. I call the first one the doorman. So if you're trying to get into a club, these would be your bouncers. So you have the Rude Hullet, the Vieira. They're like, I don't like your shoes. Your pants got wrinkles in them. You can't come in the club. In the same way, they're not going to let you into that final third. They're going to break up the plays. They sit on top of the defense. So that's one approach. A second approach is the Maestro and the Gladiator, which could be the likes of a Modric or a Vieira. The point is you want a small one and a big one. They play off of each other. One guy sits, the other one goes forward. I'd say that's pretty frequent, even in FIFA 20. And last but not least, number 3, and something that I feel was not a common procedure in the last couple years, it's been more of a FIFA 20 move, is the boxing ring, where you have 2 box-to-box midfielders, and you could use someone like a team of the season De Jong with a team of the season Kimmich. These guys can play offense, they can play defense. Neither of them are very big, but they're able to do everything on the pitch. So I guess my question to you, where do you fall in these 3, or do you have a 4th?
I, interestingly enough, play a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So I actually rock 3 midfielders, 3 centre mids. I go for a combination of all 3 that you've listed. I love Hullet, I love Vieira, and I also love Kante. So I like having the more nimble Maestro, as you'd call him, in Kante, in the Team of the Year version of him. But I also love having Vieira and Hullet because, as you say, they are literally doormen to my box. They will sit on the edge, they'll press, they'll break up the play fantastically. If I was to rate all 3, doormen's definitely first. I would say the boxing ring is second because I do enjoy having 2 box-to-boxes. I'm quite an aggressive defender like yourself. So I do like having 2 box-to-boxes that will be quite aggressive in the breakup of play. And then third and finally, I would go with Guardian and Maestro because although I do think it works really well, not my preference. If I'm rocking 2 centre mids or 2 CDMs, I like them either being both big and strong or both more box-to-box, more agile midfielders personally.
When we're looking at attackers, and I'm going to bring them together as a collective, where you have your center attacking mid, and you have your wingers, and you have your striker, what is the proper balance and where you should make the investment? I will say this early on, and I don't know if Haber agrees or disagrees, but if I was trying to cheap out, I would definitely use one of the wingers as my cheap move. And the other guy I'd like to be meta, but I can run counterattacks or releases or outlets through one side of the pitch. So if I know that I have a superior matchup, that's the matchup that I'm going to keep using. And when I'm looking at wingers or even an attacking mid, I ask myself a few questions. Is he going to be able to put pressure on the opposition? Can this player get in behind? And does he have the ability to cut inside, doing it in a certain effortless manner? Because I need to be able to change direction and open up lanes of space.
I definitely agree that you can cheap out on that spot for sure. I think that either winger spot, I feel you're not always limited to one style of play. So having, for example, a cheaper left wing to a right wing, you can actually bring in your right wing into the middle if you need to, or you can exclude your left wing from the build-up play. So I think that if you are looking for a position to cheap out in the attack, I would go for a winger as well. For me though, attack is really essential. That's the second most expensive price range for me, would be the attack. I would spend most of my coins here after spending on the midfield. I think that striker and cam, especially if you're running a 4-2-3-1 or both strikers, are really important to the build-up play, really important to the attacking tiki-taka style that I play personally. So I would make sure you focus a lot of coins here as well.
I couldn't agree more. Your big budget plays, midfield, maybe a center back, and then your center attacking mid, or your striker, or your two strikers, depends what you're playing, but your central attackers are going to be crucial for your success with scoring goals and converting opportunities. I keep stats every single week in League. The majority of my goals all come from the striker, the cam, or the two strikers that I'm playing, never from the wingers. The wingers provide, they play a role, they need to be there to be able to feed them or to be able to resurface the pitch or recycle what's happening, but they aren't the guys that score 20 goals, 30 goals over the weekend league. So that's what you should kind of be looking for when you're building your squad. If you have more questions, we have the comments down below. But that closes up this section. We're gonna end off with a little guest showdown. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the show, the guest showdown. And today, I'm American. Obviously, you're British. I've got 4 UK-based questions regarding football, and you have 4 US-based questions regarding football. And I think we have a bonus at the end. I haven't seen the questions. Haber hasn't seen the questions, but I'm gonna ask the first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready, mate. Let's do this.
Are you prepared?
I'm excited. I'm
right.
nervous a little bit. I appreciate you calling it football and not soccer. I massively appreciate that.
English fans will dislike you if you miss this. No extra pressure. But what year did England win the World Cup?
Oh, an easy one. 1966.
I also know that answer. Maybe just because of Twitter. Not gonna lie. English fans will not forget that. So I know that you're right. So I'm starting off down right now. Feed me. What you got?
This one I think is gonna be quite a hard one. This one says, how many American players are currently active in the Premier League right now? And it's multiple choice. You've got A1, B2, C3, or D4.
The only guy that comes to mind for me, right off the jump, Pulisic obviously is in the Premier League. It bothers me because it makes me feel like I don't know something, because you don't think it's only surely just one guy at the moment. But none of the goalkeepers are in the Premier League anymore. You know, we're well past the Clint Dempsey and the McBride era, so that's done. Landon Donovan, done. I mean, most of our guys end up going to the Bundesliga, if anything. I'm going to go with 1 as the final answer, and I don't know that you have confirmation or not on that. Do you have the right answer?
I don't have the right one, but I do know you're wrong. There is...
No way. There's 2 Americans in the Premier League.
DeAndre Yedlin, that plays for Newcastle.
Oh my God. Oh, what a terrible miss. What a terrible miss. All right, I'm losing this countdown now. I'm losing this game. That's horrible. I just didn't even think about defense at all. I don't know how that happened. I had no excuse. As someone who watches the Premier League every weekend, I need to issue a massive apology. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you ready for the next one? I feel like I just turned red now answering that. If you're looking at me right now, my face is maybe red out of embarrassment. Who is the all-time top goal scorer for the English national team?
Ooh.
I know this.
I think it's Wayne Rooney.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You're right.
Yes, let's go. This one is, I think, I don't know the answer to this one. It is, to this day, Bob Bradley was the first and only American coach in the Premier League. Which club did he coach?
All right, so I'm not going to make the mistake I made the first time. So it's not Fulham, it's Swansea. He coached temporarily there. It was a real quick, I'm telling you, it might even been a month. I love how we do these, by the way. We do these challenges and I only have the questions. I never have the answers. Which, English club has won the most Champions League titles?
Oh, Champions League. I am instantly gravitating towards either Liverpool or Chelsea, but I feel like I'm only gravitating towards Chelsea the last 2 decades, whereas Liverpool I feel like have been winning Champions League for longer. I am gonna say Liverpool because I feel like that's something Liverpool fans hold over United fans.
I like your logic with all of that. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I think it's Liverpool as well.
Okay. This one I feel like you will get. Which one of these clubs did Landon Donovan not play for? So he didn't play for them. Is it A, Bayern Munich, B, Fulham, C, Everton, or D, LA Galaxy?
Everyone should know that he played for LA Galaxy. Everyone should know that he went on Everton loan twice. He didn't play for Fulham, I'm sure of that. So he played a lot of people don't know that he played at Bayern Munich, but I don't think he really played. I think he went over there. It's really early in his career. Someone could stat check this, but I think he did like a trial there or something. Which one of these clubs did David Beckham not play for?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Manchester United, LA Galaxy, Blackburn Rovers,
Right.
AC Milan.
Actually, I was really confident, and now I'm a little bit confused here because I laughed at Blackburn thinking that the next one would be like PSG or something. Then you say AC Milan, and I think Beckham is a little bit out of my time frame. I was born in '98, and
oh my God, you make me feel real old right now.
I was born in '98, so I feel like a lot of Beck's career was, or like the younger days, at least for him, were maybe before I was born even. I am going to say that he did not play for Blackburn.
I mean, you're going to be correct because I know he played for AC Milan. That was actually, you should have known that because that was later in his career.
I think you'll get this one.
I can take my L.
I do think you'll get this one. What state is Christian Pulisic from?
Originally, I thought that he was from New Jersey when he first came onto the scene, but he's from Pennsylvania.
Right, I'm going to take your word for that because I don't actually know that. I just feel like it's something you would know. So I'm going to take
Yeah, I mean, he's like,
that.
oh, he's our one of our superstars right now.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know, apparently I don't know there's two guys in the Premier League, which I can't believe that. All right, so we have a bonus question here.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess this is the decider if we needed it. So I think if you get this right, you win. Where is it widely believed that the word soccer originated from? I mean, if it's widely believed, I think people, of course, think the US, but I'm going UK, going England. Or I should have wrote England here. I'll write England.
I've also gone with England just because I do remember watching an old football film where they were calling it soccer.
I think we're both right there, and I feel sad about my performance here because the questions were easy for the most part. That closes out this week's episode of Closing Belle. If you enjoyed everything, make sure to drop some love. And where can the people find you?
ItsHaber on all socials, really. It was definitely a lot of fun to take part. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me on.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll be back next week.